Have you ever felt an inexplicable chill, a whisper of a touch, or a presence you can't quite put your finger on? In this vast cosmos we inhabit, teeming with the observable, the measurable, and the tangible, there exists a parallel realm shrouded in mystery, a realm that compels us to question the nature of our reality, a realm that is home to the unseen and the unknown. This is the realm of ghosts. Ghosts, apparitions, spectres, or phantoms, whatever you choose to call them. They've been a part of our human narrative for centuries. Every culture, every society, and every civilization has tales of these spectral entities. They're so deeply entrenched in our collective consciousness that you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who hasn't heard a ghost story or two. The curiosity about these unseen spectres is universal. They represent the unexplored corners of our world, the hidden crevices of our reality. They represent what we fear, and yet what we are drawn towards, the unknown. The idea of an entity that exists beyond the physical, beyond the grasp of science, is both unsettling and enticing. Across the globe, countless individuals claim to have had encounters with these spectral entities. From the fleeting shadows in the corner of their vision to the soft whispers in the dead of night, from the inexplicable cold spots in a room to the eerie feeling of being watched when no one else is around. There are those who have felt a touch, a nudge, a push, with no discernible source. And then there are those who claim to have seen them, in full form, as real as you and I. These experiences, these encounters, they may be dismissed as figments of the imagination, tricks of the light, or quirks of the mind. But for those who have experienced them, they are as real as the air we breathe, the ground beneath our feet. They are the stories that have been passed down generations, the tales that send shivers down our spines. These are their stories, their encounters with the unseen. Our first tale takes us to the heart of England, to an old manor house with a chilling past. This stately manor, nestled in the verdant English countryside, has stood tall and proud for centuries. Its original stones whisper tales of yesteryears, echoing with the laughter and tears of those who once called it home. But as the sun dips below the horizon and the cloak of darkness descends, the manor reveals a different side. A former resident, a gentleman of the old school, tells a tale that sends shivers down the spine. He speaks of a night, much like any other, when the tranquility was shattered by a sudden crash. Startled, he rushed to the source of the noise, only to find a cherished family portrait inexplicably lying on the floor, its glass shattered. No doors or windows were open, no gust of wind could have caused the fall. The portrait, it seemed, had moved on its own, but the oddities didn't stop there. On many a night, the gentleman was kept awake by sounds that defied explanation. The clatter of silverware, the rustle of ancient tapestries, the soft whispers of voices that seemed to come from nowhere, and yet from everywhere. Then, there were the apparitions. Ghostly figures that would appear and vanish into thin air, leaving the manor's occupants in a state of bewildered terror. The most frequent of these spectral visitors was a lady dressed in Victorian garb, her face obscured by a veil of sorrow. She would drift through the hallways, her sobs echoing through the stone walls, before fading away as mysteriously as she appeared. Despite the terror these incidents induced, the gentleman and his family chose to coexist with their spectral roommates. They took it as a sign that the manor was never truly theirs, that they were merely temporary custodians of a house that belonged to the ages, and to the spirits that had found their final resting place within its walls. A tale as old as the house itself, echoing the whispers of its spectral inhabitants. From the old world, we move to the battlefields of Gettysburg, where the echoes of war still linger. In the heart of Pennsylvania, the town of Gettysburg is a place steeped in history. It was here in the sweltering summer of 1863 that one of the deadliest battles of the American Civil War was fought. The air was thick with the smoke of gunfire, the ground soaked with the blood of the fallen. Thousands of soldiers lost their lives in this brutal conflict, and some say their spirits have never left. Among the tales of spectral apparitions, one stands out, the story of the ghostly soldier. This spectral figure, donned in a weathered Union uniform, is often seen wandering the battlefield, rifle in hand, gazing into the distance as if waiting for an enemy who will never come. Eyewitnesses describe his demeanor as solemn, his gaze hauntingly vacant. Many believe the ghostly soldier to be the spirit of a young Union soldier named Henry, who died on the second day of the battle. Henry, who was barely 20 years old, had joined the Union Army with dreams of glory and honor. But the reality of war was far more horrific than he could have ever imagined. His life was cut short by a Confederate bullet, his dreams of glory replaced with the grim reality of death. Eyewitnesses have reported seeing the ghostly soldier at twilight, his spectral form illuminated by the setting sun. Some have even claimed to hear the faint sounds of a drum roll, the ghostly echoes of a battle long since ended. The ghostly soldier of Gettysburg serves as a chilling reminder of the human cost of war. It is a haunting testament to the thousands of lives lost, the dreams shattered, the futures stolen. And it is a stark reminder that, while the physical wounds of war may heal, the psychological scars remain. So, when you walk the fields of Gettysburg, tread lightly and with respect, for you are walking on hallowed ground, a battlefield where brave men fought and died. And who knows, you might just encounter the ghostly figure of a soldier, forever trapped in his final moments of life. A soldier's duty, it seems, may extend beyond the veil of death. Our journey now takes us to the City of Lights, Paris, where a phantom is said to haunt the Grand Opera House. We dive into the heart of the city to the Grand Paris Opera House, a place steeped in history and legend. Here, a tale as old as the opera house itself continues to intrigue and mystify. The tale of an enigmatic phantom, a ghostly figure whose presence has been felt but never seen. The Phantom of the Opera, as he's been dubbed, is said to be a man of music, an unseen maestro whose melodies are as haunting as they are beautiful. Witnesses claim to hear unexplained music, a ghostly orchestra playing in the dead of night, the eerie notes echoing through the vast, empty opera house. The music is said to be so captivating, so enchanting, that it's as if the phantom himself is conducting a spectral symphony. But the phantom's presence isn't just limited to mysterious melodies. There are tales of strange happenings, unexplained incidents that send a chill down the spine, props moving on their own, doors opening and closing without a touch, lights flickering without reason, and an ever-present feeling of being watched. Perhaps most infamous of all is the chilling account of the chandelier incident. The Grand Chandelier, a magnificent centerpiece of the opera house, is said to have fallen during a performance, crashing onto the audience below. It was an event so shocking, so inexplicable, that whispers of the phantom's involvement quickly spread. Since then, the chandelier has become a symbol of the phantom's haunting presence, a chilling reminder of his unseen power. These accounts, while chilling, give the Paris Opera House a sense of mystery, a sense of intrigue. They keep the legend of the Phantom of the Opera alive, fueling the whispers and the wonder. After all, who doesn't love a good ghost story? A haunting melody that continues to echo through the halls, a testament to the phantom's undying presence. After hearing these tales, one can't help but wonder, what is the truth behind these spectral encounters? We exist in a world where the line between reality and the supernatural often blur, especially when it comes to the question of ghosts. There's an array of theories, each attempting to explain these ethereal occurrences. Let's explore some of them. Firstly, there are the scientific explanations. Some argue that ghostly apparitions are merely the result of infrasound, low-frequency sound waves that humans can't hear but can feel. These vibrations can cause feelings of unease or dread, often associated with ghostly presences. Others suggest that these apparitions are the products of electromagnetic fields affecting the human brain, causing hallucinations or illusions of spectral figures. On the other side of the spectrum, we have cultural beliefs. Across the globe, various cultures have their interpretations of what ghosts are. In some traditions, they are viewed as the spirits of the deceased, lingering in the mortal world due to unfinished business or seeking justice. In others, they are seen as manifestations of the individual's energy or life force that remains even after death. Then there's the psychological aspect. Some believe that ghosts are simply the mind's way of dealing with trauma or loss. We create these spectres in an attempt to make sense of the senseless, to find comfort, or perhaps to confront our deepest fears. But despite these theories, the existence of ghosts remains a mystery. Science struggles to prove or disprove their existence definitively, and cultural beliefs vary widely. The experiences of those who claim to have encountered these apparitions are deeply personal and often inexplicable. Are these stories mere figments of imagination, or is there more to these ghostly encounters than meets the eye? The question remains, do ghosts truly exist? The answer, it seems, is as elusive as the phantoms themselves. Each of us is left to grapple with this enigma, to question and to wonder. And perhaps that's the most fascinating aspect of it all.